American Top 40.
You know, American Top 40 is heard coast to coast and around the world on great radio stations like WQSM, Fayetteville, North Carolina, KOYE, Laredo, Texas, and 5MU, Murray Bridge, South Australia. At number 35, moving up 4 notches, second week on the chart, here's a Motown tribute by Shalamar, Uptown Festival. Survey song number 35 on American Top 40. The group is Shalamar and the song Uptown Festival.
American Top 40.
Now, how do you break into show business? Well, there's no simple answer to that question. You just do it, and often without even planning. Like the way singer Jody Watley of the trio Shalamar got her big break. Here's a story Jody recently told us. When she was a teenager, her family moved from Chicago to Los Angeles. And Jody found herself living in the same city as one of her favorite TV shows, Don Cornelius's Soul Train. For Jody, getting on Soul Train to dance would be a dream come true. But it was an impossible dream. The show had enough dancers and wasn't accepting any new applications. Well, after a few months in L.A., Jody met a Soul Train dancer at a party. And he told her he could get her in on the show, but she'd have to sneak in the trunk of his car. Well, Jody jumped at the chance and into the trunk of her friend's car. And for several weeks, that was how she got into dance on Soul Train. Until she was finally found out. But by that time, Jody Watley was recognized as an unofficial regular, and they let her stay. In time, she became one of Soul Train's most popular dancers. And that led to her becoming a member of the band Shalamar on the Soul Train label. This week, the 3 members of Shalamar, Jody Watley, along with Jeffrey Daniel, the fellow who used to sneak her into Soul Train, and Howard Hewitt, are at number 31 with The Second Time Around.
Second time, baby.
Shalamar falling from 16 to 31 with their former top 10 record, The Second Time Around.
American Top 40.
Here's the current number 1 song on both the dance chart and the soul chart. It's the first solo hit for 28-year-old Jody Watley. She's a former member of the group Shalamar. Up 8 notches to number 18. Jody sings, Looking for a New Love. Jody Watley, Looking for a New Love. And while she was looking, her record hit number 1 on the soul chart and the dance chart. This week on AT40, she climbs from number 26 to 18.
American Top 40.
These are the hits ranked by Billboard magazine. At number 34 is the current hit by singer Jody Watley. Jody spent most of her time growing up in Chicago, but she still got around a lot. Her dad was a traveling minister. She told us he'd do revivals, going from city to city. We'd put up tents, people would sing the whole bit, unquote. That experience gave Jody Watley a taste of life on the road, a show business life that she leads right now. Here she is, up 6 notches to number 34 with Don't You Want Me? Don't You Want Me? Jody Watley, a former member of Shalamar, her second top 40 solo hit, moving from number 40 to number 34 this week.
American Top 40.
Well, now we're up to the singer who had to audition for a group that she was already in. She's Jody Watley, and her current solo hit is called Don't You Want Me? Now, the experience Jody could be singing about in that song began back in 1977. Jody had spent a few years as a dancer on the popular TV show Soul Train, and a couple of music producers spotted her and asked her to be in a new soul group that they were forming. Jody said okay, and the trio called Shalamar was born. Lead singer Gary Mumford, another dancer from Soul Train named Jeffrey Daniels, and Jody Watley. Now, this wasn't exactly a starring role for Jody. She says she was mostly supposed to dance in the background and look great, which Jody does pretty well. But no one asked her if she could sing. Well, a couple of months later, word got out that the group's managers were looking for a female singer. Well, that shook Jody up, because with another woman in the group, they wouldn't be needing her. And how dare they not even ask her to audition? The nerve of them. She wasn't about to take that. Jody marched into the manager's office, blew past his secretary, and before he could say anything, she started singing. I mean loudly. She sang Barbra Streisand's Evergreen and really let those pipes ring. Well, the search for another singer ended right then and there. She says, I guess I cleared up any doubts he might have about whether I could sing or not. Sometimes, you just have to go for it. End of quote from Jody Watley, talking about her spontaneous audition for a group that she was already in. Here she is, singing in our countdown solo these days. At number 23, Jody Watley and Don't You Want Me?
Are you looking for a new love?
American Top 40.
We're on our way to the number one song in the USA. Now we're up to the woman who says leaving the music business was the best thing she ever did for her career. And she must be right. She just won a Grammy Award for Best New Artist of the Year. She's 28-year-old singer Jody Watley. Now, 10 years ago, Jody got her start in Los Angeles. She was a member of the soul trio Shalamar. But Jody had a hard time in Shalamar. She felt like a puppet. Management told her exactly what to do, and what they wanted to do wasn't very challenging. Jody got so frustrated she left the group. And the whole experience really burned her out on the music business. She just wanted out. Then in 1983, Jody had a baby girl, and shortly thereafter, she and her newborn daughter left L.A. for the UK. Jody told us, I moved to England basically to get away, but also to get a fresher perspective, experience a different culture. Jody also experienced a new career in modeling. Her striking face and svelte figure were just what European fashion magazines wanted. Jody says, I've always loved fashion, so between England and Paris, I did a lot of modeling for magazines. I learned a lot about the importance of lighting and things like that. Things that a singer should know. You are kind of a model, because you do album covers and photo sessions. So the more you know, the better it is for you as an artist. Jody Watley says working as a model built her confidence. She got used to being in the spotlight solo instead of in the safety of a group. And for the first time, she began writing songs on her own. Jody says it was a brand new start for her. Quote, England brought it all out. It taught me a lot, and it was the perfect place for me to be. End of quote. After 2 years in England, Jody Watley came home ready to record again as a solo artist. Her third top 40 hit, which she co-wrote, is at number 23 this week. Jody Watley, who just a couple of weeks ago walked off with the Grammy for Best New Artist of the Year. Here's Jody and Some Kind of Lover. Jody Watley and Some Kind of Lover, a recent number one on the dance chart. It leaps 10 notches this week to number 23 on AT40. Jody co-wrote the song with Andre Simone, and he co-produced it with David Z. David and Andre have both worked with Prince. Impressive pop connections as the countdown rocks on.
The hits from coast to coast.